Alrighty, so I promise no hard questions.
No hard questions.
No hard questions. These will all be softball.
It's 2 hours before the end, so I beg you, softballs only.
All right, so for those of us who haven't been paying attention and don't live on every word that pours out of the forums, introduce yourself and tell folks what you do.
My name is Damion Schubert. I'm the lead system designer for the project, and what that means is I'm responsible for the design of pretty much everything that's not combat or story in the game. This is actually a very big patch for me and the team because my team was responsible for GUI customization, legacy, and guild banks, which are pretty much 3 of the biggest features that you're seeing inside of this build. So it's a very exciting time for us, and you know, we're really excited to see it about to go live.
Yeah, I have the privilege of being a fan site. We were offered the chance to bring some of our 50s over, check things out, and I've been playing around. I'm really impressed with all the UI changes. I was one of those folks who just needed some minor tweaking.
Right.
I liked the layout the way it was. I just wanted to make things smaller. But obviously other folks had different concerns, and you have definitely made sure that we have more than enough options to get the game laid out the way we as players are comfortable with. I'm very impressed.
Well, one of the things that, I mean, really the hands-off, the design for the GUI customization is my baseline, but all of the kudos actually goes to the GUI team, which was deeply, deeply passionate about this is where the GUI needed to be, and it really needed to be that way to be able to handle all of the different play styles that different people have, all of the expectations that players are bringing in from other games. And so they really asked them for more than we thought they could. They worked a lot of midnight oil to make it happen, and really my hat is off to them because, you know, I get to come here and take credit for it, and you know, that's really fun for me. So
I will say that yesterday you did the presentation on the UI stuff.
Yep.
And you were very clear that these folks were like really kind of doing stuff on their own time because they were passionate about it. So to those of you folks who did that, thank you. Above and beyond, clearly, and that's been one of the things I've really enjoyed about BioWare. I've been, you know, talking to the other folks today, and we've my first real MMO was that other Star Wars MMO.
all right.
Spent a lot of time playing that, and my general impression from having played that was the attitude was you'll take what we give you and you'll like it. And here it's very clear you guys are very engaged and very focused on not letting the fan base steamroll your vision, but at least have input into the direction that things are going to go.
So next to my desk there is a wall, and this wall has index cards of all of the features that we want to add to the game. And you know, we expect this game to have a lifespan. I mean, if you look at games like WoW and EverQuest and EverQuest 2, those games are still going strong, and those games still are finding ways to improve it and add on to the game experience. And we expect there to be a similar lifespan for Star Wars: The Old Republic. And so this wall that has all these features prioritized, you know, we try to prioritize them by what different groups need and what expectations are. So, you know, what does the social systems need? What are the guilds really asking us for? What are the raiders really asking us for? You know, we want to be sure that we're servicing all of our audiences, that we're giving, for example, role players the love that they really haven't gotten enough of. You know, and you know, it's just about being sure that we're prioritizing stuff. I know everybody wants their pet feature right now, and we have, you know, to some degree it's partially my job to make those tough decisions, so it's my fault, at least a little bit. But at the end of the day, a huge part of the feedback that we get and a huge part of the feedback that we consider is the stuff that's coming directly from our fans. As an example, huge swaths of that wall were rearranged after the Guild Summit based on some stuff that we kind of thought might be problems that the guilds confirmed were problems, and also stuff that, to be honest, we hadn't thought about that the guilds were really panicked about, that brought to our attention and you know, started changing our thinking in some of the ways. And we're now looking at how to push that into the social systems team's backlog of features. So it's an ongoing struggle, but you know, it pays off sometimes. Like I said before, 1.2 is going to be a really big patch for my team in particular, and we're going to see a lot of good stuff. So yeah,
if you haven't had a chance to get over onto the test server, you, the viewer, should really check that out, even if it is just to roll a new level 1. I mean, textures alone, like the minute I logged into the game, I was seeing details on my level 50 Sage in his costume I had never noticed before. Yeah, so I mean, definitely check it out for yourself. It's very clear this has been a labor of love. Real quickly to your pet projects, and if I had my way, we'd all be playing holo chess and Pazak and dancing and playing music. And nothing else right now. Clearly other people have other priorities, so that is the nice thing about MMOs, is that even when you get on the ground level, and the game is incredibly feature rich, more feature rich than I think any MMO I've tried at launch.
If you think about MMOs, like you're talking about a possibility space that's endless, right? You're talking about you can mimic any faction of real life and put it inside of a massive multiplayer game. And so there's, to some extent, you always have to figure out where you're going to draw the lines, where you're actually going to limit the player experience and say, okay, this is what we want to devote time and effort and code to going into and supporting. So we do have some more cosmetic stuff, some more mini-gaming stuff on the wall, but right now our top priorities are the things that we feel the game urgently needs. So, for example, our number one priority post 1.2 is getting a group finder out to you guys, and pretty much how fast we can do that is entirely going to determine the shape of what when 1.3 will get into your hands. So once we start knocking off those things that are really important, that we feel will serve the game in very, very dramatic ways, then we'll be able to start talking about some of those more toyetic features.
Fair enough. Before we wrap this up, I have been asking everyone here today some silly questions. So, as a player of the game, not a developer, as a player, if folks have been watching the videos know, the devs don't play on any secret magic servers, I mean, unless they're testing. They play with us. You play out on a live environment. What is the content in the game that you personally, when you're not worried about work, you enjoy the most in the game?
I love really, really sarcastic writing. So I really love the Inquisitor's voice acting in particular, going dark side. I really love also the bounty hunter in particular. The female is a lot of fun. That's the stuff, because I live in systems all day and I know that stuff inside and out. So that's not magic to me, the way that the stuff the other groups do.
Another silly question, and then I'll let you get back to meeting and greeting. Silliest you have seen on the live server, playing in your own personal time?
That's usually legacy names. I mean, people have just a wonderful sense of humor with the legacy names. I'm drawing a blank off the top of my head, but yeah, there have definitely been a few legacy names that's like, oh wow, that's awesome. What are you going to name the other 7 characters? Is usually my follow-up mental question.
Interesting. Well, Damion, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. The work looks great. Please, again, thank the team, thank the staff, the folks that put in all that extra time to make that happen.
It's a pleasure to talk to you, and I really hope you guys like what we did as much as we enjoyed building it. I think the game has come a long way, and I think you guys are really going to like 1.2.
Well, I know I'm planning on being in the game for a very, very, very long time. So thank you, Damion. I appreciate it.